Hey, I'm Angie Cha-Cha, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Angie Cha-Cha.
And I was like, how though? Like, what happened? Because I'm still not. It's not registering to me. And they was like he was riding his motorcycle, and we was following behind him, and his motorcycle slid on black ice, and he lost control of his motorcycle, and he hit a tree, and he went one way and the motorcycle went the other way, and he landed over by the exit sign. So we got off the bike to go check on him. One of the bro that called me, his name was Remix, and then the other bro that was there with him was named Drama, and I was familiar with them, but there was like another bro there with them, but I didn't know who that bro was. And he said Drama went to go check on him, and he held Monster in his arms for like 5 minutes, and then Monster passed away. And because he got a head injury is what
Did he have a helmet on?
Yep.
He had a helmet on?
Yep, he had a helmet on. And he
still had a helmet, had a head injury.
Yep, still. That's how bad it was. And so when it just all registered after him telling me, then that's just like it became a reality, because it's like now he's giving me details about what happened. It's not just, oh, he died. I'm actually getting real details about what the fuck happened. And I just like let out like that cry that you heard in the video, but it was even worse than that. And it just echoed all throughout my mom's apartment. And my mom woke up, my grandma woke up, and they came running, like, what's wrong? And I just was like, Maurice is dead. Maurice is dead. And so after that, I ended up going back to Virginia. It wasn't even 24 hours that he was gone, and his dad had a key to our house, and he went into the house, and my daughter's calling me, and she's like, Mom, I don't know what Pops is doing, but he's in here and he's rummaging through Dad's stuff. And I was like, what you mean? And she was like, he's in the closet looking for something. And she was like, I don't know. It's just really weird, Mom. I don't like it. And I was like, I said, it's okay, baby. I said, Mommy's going to be there soon. I'm coming. I said, but don't you tell nobody I'm coming. And I end up there, and his dad, I noticed that the truck was gone. And I was like, where the fuck is the truck at? And she was like, Pops took it. I said, oh, hell no. So I called the police on him. And he had to return the truck back. And then I ended up getting a visit from Outcast Motorcycle Club. And it was the guy Drama that was there. It was Remix. And it was a couple of other brothers. And it was Pops, which is what we called Maurice's dad. He done went and told the motorcycle club.
Dad was a part of the club too.
No, he wasn't. His dad would just come to sometimes, like if we had a cookout or whatever, his dad would come because he would grill food and stuff like that, and hang out with the club, but he wasn't a part of the club. So he called them, or they called him. I don't know who called who, but they got in touch with each other, and now they all in my front doorstep. So I go and I have a shotgun that I found out Maurice had got a shotgun that he purchased during our time that we wasn't, together when I was at my mom's. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, you was going to try to use this to end your life. That's what the fuck I am. That was the first thought that came to my head. So I grabbed that shotgun when they came to the house, and I had it with me beside the door, like, I want y'all mother to try something, because I'm feeling threatened right now.
What did they come there for? What was the reason they were there?
They said they was accusing me of withholding some paperwork. They was like, we know you have the paperwork. You have some paperwork. You need to give it to us. That's important paperwork. You needed to give it to Maurice's. You need to give it to Monster's dad. I said, I ain't giving him shit. And I said, whatever paperwork that he has, that he would have gave it to them just like he gave to me. Because mind you, in April of 2014, because remember I told you in February 2014, I had the vision, the psychic vision of seeing everything, the funeral and all that shit, right? So in April, after I told Maurice about that, in April, he goes, he comes to me in my room. I'm going through my filing cabinet, pulling out old stuff, throwing it away, cleaning up my filing cabinet, and he brought me this piece of paper and he said, "Here." He said, "Put this inside of your filing cabinet." And I said, "What is this?" And he goes, "Look at it." And I look and I guess the reading, and it's a life insurance policy. And he has me listed as the beneficiary and his children as the secondary beneficiaries. Okay. So I just started crying at the fact that he cared enough about me to do that. And he was like, "I told you that I'm going to take care of you and that you're going to be okay." He said, "If something ever happens to me, you have this. You'll be okay. You'll be taken care of financially. You don't have to worry about nothing." So I hugged him and I started crying and I told him, "Thank you." So when they came to the house, I'm like, the only paperwork I have is my life insurance policy that he gave to me. Y'all's names ain't on that. So I don't see how y'all think y'all entitled to my. I'm not giving y'all. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. This is what the fuck they was looking for, the will. And I did not know that this man had a will. Okay. He never even told me this. The whole 5 years we were together, he never, even when he gave me that life insurance policy, he didn't say, "I just want to let you know I have a will too, in case something happens to me, and this is what's in the will." No, I didn't get that conversation. So that's what his dad was looking for, was the will. So after they left, because I called the police on them and they had to leave. After they left, my daughter was there with her, and her best friend and her best friend's husband was there as well. And so like I was like saying, we need to go through the house and look for this paperwork that his dad was looking for, because he looking for some kind of. So let's look and try to see if y'all can find any type of important paperwork that they would, that would be important. Like whatever important paperwork that you find, bring it to me. My daughter's best friend's husband, he goes in we all separate in rooms. So I'm like, you go in this room, you go in that room, we all gonna pick a room, we're gonna go through the room, right? He goes out in the garage. So like not even 5 minutes later, this is how I know like the universe be doing its thing, the Most High be doing its thing. Even your loved ones, that when they cross over, they will be doing their damn thing to help you. This man stayed with me after this happened, because he when you leave out of your body, you are a soul that you're still existing. You can still see, you can still hear, you can still all that. You just not in a physical body. So he's seeing all this go down. What the is happening to me? He ain't liking none of this, mind you, because that man was very protective over me. He did not play about me.
But he
So
loved his club too, right?
yeah, he did, but he loved me more. Best believe that. That club did not come before me. So you coming up over my house and you threatening me. I'm the that lays down with him at night. I'm the that takes care of him when he's having his mental episodes. I'm the that's there. So you don't trump me in any kind of way. So mind you, they doing all this shit to me. I already know he just in his soul form like, oh hell, what y'all doing? Like y'all supposed to be my bros. You supposed to be coming over there checking on her, making sure she okay, not doing this weird. 5 minutes later, my daughter's best friend's husband comes out that garage and he's like, "Miss Angie," he said, "Look at this, look at this." He said, "Do you think this is what they're looking for?" And I grabbed that paper and I look, and it's the will. And I said, "Oh my God." I said, "You know what? You on to something." That's exactly what his dad was looking for. And it's so weird that it was in the garage, because Maurice was very good at keeping his together, all his personal and, important documents. He had a filing cabinet for that. Why was that sitting out in the garage? I feel like that he was looking at that. He was thinking about death a lot in the last days of him living, and that he probably was out in the garage chilling one day, just looking over that, reading over it, making sure it was.
Usually, they say if a man is gonna do that, they'll do it in a garage.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so maybe he was thinking about that to do that in the
yeah,
garage.
and maybe having that there so it could be found next to his body or something, right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm thinking, right? Because
Yeah.
even when he died, my sister and my mom both told me, they was like, Angela, I hate to tell you this, but I feel like he committed. And I feel like that too. Even though his death was ruled an accident, I don't feel like it was an accident. That man had been driving motorcycles since he was 14 years old. He was 46 years old when he passed away. That's 30 years of experience. He could have found a way to handle that bike over black ice. I didn't been in the rain, the sleet, the snow with this man. This man was able to ride his motorcycle so low going around a corner when we're off the ramp that I could put my hand down and touch the ground if I wanted to. That's how far lean down his motorcycle would go when he would go around that damn ramp. That motherfucker was top motherfucking notch in riding. That's why I always felt safe with him at any point in motherfucking time. I do not believe for a second that it was an accident. I believe that he lost control and he could have gained control, but he refused to gain control, and he allowed that to happen the way that it happened because he wanted to die. That's what I feel happened to him. And even my mom and my sister, they said the same thing, unprovoked. I didn't say this to them. They both felt the same thing that I felt. So that was just confirmation for me. And I ended up, in the will, he gave everything to his grandfather. So his dad was looking for that for nothing because he didn't leave his dad because his dad was a alcoholic who put him off to his family growing up and didn't really do a good job in taking care of him and being a good father to him. And his grandfather, he was very close to his grandfather like I was to my grandmother. So he left his grandfather everything that was physical. So all the cars, the motorcycles, all that went to the grandfather. So I took what I wanted in the home, certain things of his that I took and kept for myself. And then everything else I left there. I told because his son also was there too when the club came with his dad. His son was outside too. And so I told them, I said, you and his aunt was going to end up coming, but she was coming the next day. I said, you can come in the house and his aunt could come in the house. I said, his dad, I said, I don't want Pops up inside of here because he was on some bullshit. I said, because he wasn't even dead 24 hours and he even coming up over here stealing the truck, ransacking the goddamn closet. No, we're not doing that. So I don't want him in here, and I don't want the club up inside of here.